Good morning. I'm Beth Journay and I'm with the Greater Angleton Chamber of Commerce, and I have with me today Marty Stulberg, who is running for Angleton City Council Position 2. Hi, Marty.
Hello.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, Marty, I'm just going to ask you a few questions. Tell us what you know. Whatever you want the voters to know about you. How about that?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, tell us about yourself and why is it a good idea for us to vote for you for City Council? What useful experience, knowledge, or perspective do you bring?
Okay. I have been a resident of Angleton now for 17 years. I've been involved in the community for much longer than that through marriage. My experience has been in business. I've been either a business operator or owner for some 30 years. I've run very difficult businesses all the way from research portions of product all the way through manufacturing and marketing and sales. I've run businesses with as many as 50 employees. I've owned my own businesses with as many as 25 employees. And all of this experience has been in the oil and gas industry, which most people know is a very cyclical business, and you have to learn how to manage your money in the good times and make sure that you can survive the bad times.
All right.
And you get most bang for your buck, basically, is what it comes down to. Where you invest your money is what's going to create your future. Whether that be positive or negative, that's up to management to make that decision.
Okay. Okay, what leadership skills do or would you bring to the city if elected? And what is the toughest group you have ever had to lead?
Well, the toughest groups of people that you have to lead in the industry that I've been in are when things turn down and the money quits flowing and there's not enough coming in to cover what's going out. Those are the tough times. Those are the times that you have to consider your which would be here, your tax base. How much money do you have? And where do you put that money to continue your operations? And those are the tough times. I don't want to go any further into it than that because I don't like to talk about letting people go or laying people off or cheating the systems to create things. You always have to look at everything that's under that umbrella, and you can't specifically point out separate little factions. Everything has to be together as a whole. All the employees have to work together as a whole, and if you don't make decisions for the better of the whole, then you're robbing somebody involved.
Sure. Okay, what skills, qualities, or experience do you possess that separates you from your opponent?
I really don't know that much about my incumbent, so that's a very hard question to answer. The only connection I've had with the incumbent is I go to the council meetings. I know Williams through that, and that's about it. I really don't know. I don't know exactly, and this may be a negative point for me, but I don't know all the inner workings of the city council. I know the functions of city council, what they do, what they're responsible for, but how they reach the outcome of a lot of these decisions that are made, I don't know that, and those are things I'm looking forward to learning.
Okay, fair enough, Marty. Thank you. Okay, if elected, what do you hope to accomplish during your term in office?
Well, being in the community as many years as I've been here, I've watched small business in Angleton go away. And my wife and I have sit and discussed this. She was born and raised in Angleton, and years ago, back in the early to mid 70s, I used to drive through Angleton every day because I worked in Freeport. And Angleton was a bustling little community. You went through town and there was just a lot of activity here and there was a lot of business here. I don't see the new businesses coming in. I mean, I've looked in the last several years. We do have some new businesses coming around, which is great. I feel like a city of 19,000 plus people or somewhere in that area, we should attract light industry to create a good tax base to operate our city. Now, how we go about attracting those businesses into Angleton, I don't have the experience to know that. I think there's things through tax abatements, there's things through, we may be able to get grants through the county or to the state to do different things. I really don't know, but these are things that I want to look at doing, and we need to bring the core tax base into town. Where is our income? how, and then from there, how do we spread that income out to make the community grow?
Okay, absolutely. Okay, what do you see as Angleton's greatest challenges in the next decade, and how can you, as an elected official, help face or be prepared for those challenges?
Well, this kind of fits into the previous question. I think our infrastructure is a very important part of Angleton. It is an old community. If you spend any time at all and go over here to the museum and read the history on the city of Angleton, Angleton has a very tremendous and rich history. It's been around for a long, long time. To be able to support that, there again, I go back to, we have to bring business in to Angleton to support and to, I guess, improve our infrastructure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How important is it for the city to purchase items and services from local vendors? It's a two-part question.
Yeah.
How committed to the shop local motto are you, and what have you done to encourage the city and its citizens to keep their tax dollars in Angleton?
Well, that's a conversation that I've had with many people already, and personally, I've been here for a long time. I try to support every business that I can in Angleton, whether it be the restaurants or the garages or simple items, the hardware stores. I shop Angleton every possibility that I have. If I have to go outside of Angleton, which I hate to do, you got to go to Lake Jackson to get things, because we don't have them here. We don't have those businesses here. You have to go to Pearland, or you have to go to Houston. It's not only inconvenient, it just kind of rubs me the wrong way to have to take my money and spend it somewhere else. I mean, these are, the people of Angleton are my neighbors. I know a lot of people here, and they're my friends, and I want to support the people of Angleton.
Good deal.
And I encourage everybody to do so.
All right, thank you, Marty. Okay, how would you describe the city of Angleton to a business prospect looking at the possibility of relocating here?
That's a very, very hard question to answer. We have a lot of property around Angleton that is occupiable by either business, subdivisions. How would you tell somebody that, yeah, you ought to come build in Angleton? If their business is new, it would be somewhat easier to approach it. But then they're going to ask you, well, what kind of history do you have in Angleton to support a business? That's going to be a tough question to answer, because we haven't had the greatest success rate about supporting our local businesses. And I've had this conversation with my wife many times, and friends of mine that have businesses here. It's very hard to, I mean, how do you get this train going? Somehow or another, we have to figure out a way as a collective to get this thing moving in that positive direction. And until we do that, that's a tough question to answer. How do you tell somebody to bring it to Angleton? Somehow or another, we have to give business something positive that they can hang their hat on and say, yes, I want to go to Angleton and get in business.
Mm-hmm. Okay. In the past, Angleton has lost small business and development opportunities to other communities. What steps would you take to make the process less cumbersome and make Angleton more inviting to those who wish to invest here?
Well, I wish I had the experience in the core of the city to be able to answer that question properly. Everybody's got their little thoughts and their little dreams on how we need to fix things in Angleton, but you don't see anybody show up to council meetings. It's a shame what happens in the local elections around here, but for a community the size of this one, where we only have less than 2,000 people show up at the polls for an election for a city official. It's just, it goes back to the same thing again. It just keeps chasing itself around. Mm-hmm. You see small communities, for instance, you go to a lot of these small communities and they've created a big tourism situation. Angleton's a beautiful little town. It's just dwindled down in the last 15 years, where we've had all these little businesses and things closed down in the downtown area. We need to revitalize, which I know everybody's working on this. I know this is a project and it's a high priority project. Revitalize the downtown core in Angleton to bring in, get people off 288, get them into Angleton to spend their money in Angleton. This thoroughfare has been through here for many years, going back and forth to Freeport. But now that they've gone around us, we don't have that support anymore of the public. Mm-hmm. And I think we need to recreate that. We need some other sign out on 288 other than we have a McDonald's and a Whataburger. we need a sign out there that says, this is Angleton, you know, come to Angleton, spend your money in Angleton. I know that you have worked very hard to bring an awareness of Angleton into town, and I think we need to promote that more somehow. I'm a business development manager, but then there's always people that have these ideas that are a lot more creative than I am.
Okay, well, thank you. Describe the models, tools, incentives that other communities in Texas are using successfully that you would support to encourage job creation and retention in Angleton and boost economic development.
Well, that goes back to the previous question that was just asked. I would love to see people come into Angleton. If you would just go to the museum downtown and look at the history of Angleton and say, these are some things that maybe we can hang our hat on. We used to have an antique shop here. People love to go shop antiques. I think we need small businesses that are people that are here in Angleton are capable of starting or finding the funding for. You go to some of the hill country places, and I understand the hill country is a big deal to a lot of people, but little shops, ice cream shops, hairdressers, just any kind of little business that you can put together, antique businesses. And I feel like the city, somehow we need to create a business development type core or something to promote this kind of, find a way to get these things in Angleton, get people off that highway and get them back in Angleton to spend their money instead of going to Lake Jackson and spending their money there.
How important do you think the attitude of city leaders is to economic development? And I'm going to give you an example. When someone's coming in looking to put a business in here, do you think it's more effective to have, for them to meet people, the first people they meet, to be have more of a can-do attitude or more of a can't attitude?
Well, I don't think anybody ever ran or created a successful business saying, well, I don't think this business is going to make it anyway, it's going to fail. Myself, I've started several businesses and I've been fortunate enough to be successful at it. If you go into something with a defeatist attitude, that's exactly what you're going to end up with as an outcome. I think our city officials need to promote these people that are even thinking about, they're talking about coming to Angleton or outside Angleton to start a business, to create some of that tax base we started out talking about. We need to promote that in any way that we can, realistically, to bring that business into Angleton, to employ the people of Angleton. Angleton's a beautiful little, I call it a bed and breakfast community, and we have a lot of our citizens here. We don't have that many young people here anymore. It's all the older people that are here. We don't have a movie theater. We don't have anything to attract young people here that have young children that want to raise their children here. Other than the fact we have a low crime rate, we're an easy to get to community out of Houston, and that's what we have. We need to even move that further and say, come live in Angleton. Come build your home in Angleton. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, do you think it's important to watch other cities or communities to learn from what they're doing that's working or not working?
I think it's extremely important. I mean, I drive through West Columbia all the time, and I see the things that are going on in West Columbia and the vitalization of their downtown core and things that are happening. I think it's very, very important. If they go through there, they kind of have to go through there where they have an opportunity to get around Angleton. We need some magnet to draw them back into Angleton and create these things that will want to make them come wander the streets in Angleton and have businesses here that people want to come to.
Okay. In your discussions with voters, what concern or issue has been raised that has surprised you the most? And what are your suggestions for dealing with those issues or concerns?
This is kind of offbeat, but when I discuss Angleton and things that are going on, the first question I get asked by everybody is, who put those medians in the middle of the road out there? We got to get those medians out of the road, and you try to explain to them, that's not the city of Angleton that did that, that's the state of Texas that did that. People, growth is a big thing on their mind. Infrastructure is a big thing on their mind. These are things that being a resident here as many years as I've been here, I understand those problems, I see those problems. How exactly do you fix those problems? I lack the experience to be able to say so. So I'll have to leave it at that, but I will find these things out. If elected, I will look into these things and I will listen to the citizens, and I've been telling the citizens of Angleton, I want to be your voice at city council.
All right. What are your top 3 goals if elected to this position?
Business, business, business.
Okay.
My top 3 goals. There again, I keep beating on this drum, create that tax base that we can lean on, that we know we have some money somewhere, you know, to be able to promote these things that we've been talking about. Make Angleton grow. It's a beautiful community. It's full of wonderful people. There's no reason why we just get passed over on everything that seems like would help us out.
Okay. Any additional comments?
No, thank you for your time.
Thank you,
Hopefully
Marty.
you get elected.
We
Thank you.
appreciate you. Good luck.
Bye-bye.